All right, a little bit of just a quick breaking news story that it happened last night, but I just saw this. Two Delta planes collided at LaGuardia on the ground in New York last night. Ripped one of the tail wings off one of the Delta jets. That's how hard the collision was. I mean, did tremendous damage to one of the jets. Neither one of them will be in the air, I can tell you that. Flying is getting a little spooky out there, boys and girls. Anyhow, you know what's spooky? The left-wing media. No matter what happens, it wouldn't matter what happened. Donald Trump gets credit for nothing and the blame for everything. Curtis Houck, managing editor, NewsBusters, with me here this morning. Curtis, glad to have you back on the program. He can do no right. Democrats can do no wrong. But the fact of the matter is people are catching on. Two things. I saw the polling out of the New York Times saying that 2/3 of Americans said that Democrats should not shut down the government, 2/3. And on a brand new generic ballot, the Republicans are winning by 2 points. The Democrats are not doing well here. Chuck Schumer, and it is his shutdown because he was forced to do it, because if he didn't, AOC would primary him. She probably will anyway. But he's trying to protect his... I really think so. I think she's going to primary him anyway because she can smell it. She can see the old guy. It doesn't have it anymore. What do you think about the media? Is just awful, aren't they?
Well, real quick on the AOC part, I don't know if you saw, she filmed a video walking the halls of the Senate yesterday. So I guess she was getting a look at her new digs. I mean,
yeah,
it's that close to her. She's measuring the drapes, Steve. You know, you're exactly right about that. But no, when it comes to the media, I think it's so insidious what they've been doing with the claim saying that it's not true that Democrats want to provide health care for legal immigrants. It's semantics. It's semantic games. That's what they're doing. They're saying, oh, no. The last administration said these people are allowed to be here, so therefore they're not illegal. When actually, of course, what happened was they came into the country, they were given court dates for like 2034, saying, okay, have fun, we'll see you then. And therefore, by allowing that and being processed by the Alejandro Mayorkas DHS, they were allowed then to tap into all of the generous social safety net programs meant for working class Americans, pregnant women, down on their luck. And so, that's how we've seen what's been going on here. But they're saying, no, they're not illegal immigrants. They're just immigrants. And to me, I say, well, that definitely seems like an illegal immigrant to me. And yet, this is how the fact checkers work, Steve. And the reason I go through all that is because it's so insidious. And that is how we got the big tech censorship that we were hit with for all of these years under the previous administration. They would take things that were true and then say that they were false. It was Orwellian in nature, and they're trying to do it again, but the American people are not buying it because the Democrats are, as you've explained here, dialing everything up to a 12 out of 10. And the American people are like, what? No.
Always dialing up to a 12 out of a 10. Here's the thing. They said, well, it can't happen. It's not legal for them to get these benefits. Well, it's not legal for an illegal alien with a gun conviction to become the superintendent in Des Moines, Iowa. But these things can happen, apparently. It's not legal for that same guy to vote in Maryland elections, including April of this year, even though he lives in Iowa and he's voting illegally in Maryland. I mean, crazy things happen, Curtis. And it's funny because you can show them these things all the time. This was just the easy example. This is just easy. I mean, here's a criminal who has a final deportation order from, 18 months ago, something like that. And here he is as the superintendent of the biggest school district in Iowa, 30,000 kids. Oh, that can't happen. Illegals can't vote. That would never happen. Illegals can't get benefits from the government. That'll never happen. Oh, come on.
My favorite thing, Steve, is when they do that, they if they do acknowledge it, what they then do is they say, it's happening, but it's not really happening. It's isolated examples, and therefore we should make no broader conclusions about what this means. And then if you get them to that point, they'll say it's happening, and therefore it is good. It's like almost like the stages of grief.
Alternatively, yeah, but Trump's president, so it's happening under the Trump administration. What? I mean, there's that card too. Don't forget that one. It's an important one in their deck.
Yeah, I mean, and so this entire thing over the shutdown is completely ridiculous. And then if you just want to talk straight up about Obamacare subsidies, once again, this is one of those things that was only meant to be temporary because of the pandemic. You create government dependency, and it's hard to turn away from that. I've not really seen that in the media coverage, pointing out that what we're talking about in terms of these subsidies is for people that are hundreds of a percent above the poverty line still receiving Obamacare subsidies. Now, if you think about that, let's just say it's 300 or 400% above the poverty line, still getting Obamacare subsidies. You're saying, wow, that's a really good deal, A, if you're in for that sort of thing. And B, what does that say about the state of the American healthcare system and the stability of the Affordable Care Act if the Democrats are fighting so hard for people that far above the poverty line to still be receiving subsidies? Once again, the left does not want to engage in this. And what I've noticed is a tell that they know that the Democrats caused this, Steve. Last night and this morning, a lot of the coverage is just saying, well, both sides are engaging in finger pointing. I'm old enough to remember previous shutdowns where it was entirely blaming Republicans. They tried to do that late last week and earlier this week, but I think they've realized that it's not working. And as you said at the onset here, this
is failing. And when you've got three Democrats, this is where their problem also lies, Curtis. Three Democrats crossed the line to vote with the Republicans to begin with, from Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Maine. So you've got a problem already because you've got cracks in the armor of Democrats saying, wait a second, this isn't right. And I think they're in real trouble. Their PR department's in real trouble. And I think AOC capitalizes on this and primaries Schumer anyway. That's what I think is going to happen. She's going after him anyway. And that's why she's over there measuring the curtains. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, and they want to be able to play the victim. You know, if Russ Vogt goes through with these layoffs, they are going to be saying, no, they did this to you. But deep down, they want this to happen. They want people to lose their jobs so they can turn around and say, no, look what these people did to you. So
but the problem with that is, though, Curtis, most of those people, a good portion of it, certainly inside the Beltway, they're Democrat voters anyway. It makes no difference in the outcome. Curtis Houck, managing editor, NewsBusters. Always good to see you, my friend. Thank you.
No problem.
There you have it. It's just ridiculous. Breaking news out of the UK, tragic news. I'll have that for you after the break.